Welcome back to Minecraft. Currently working on gathering materials for the central tower that we've decided to build. Little leg spike with everything going on. I have been gathering quite a few materials to build this central tower. We did decide to go away from the little house and build more of a tower that I can look over things. Anybody did see, I did talk to a few people about that I did add a compass to the bottom of the building. So this direction is north, so I had the red on that side. Top of the tower, I'm actually going to be making the same shape as a lookout on either edge of the top of the tower. And then we were thinking about putting a copper roof on just to get that interesting color change over time. But it looked really nice with that starting copper. I think I've collected most of the stuff we're going to need. I'm currently cooking up some copper for the roofing. But we're just going to start with that, see where we're going to go. I'm actually going to build the outer frame first. I'm going to be putting a cooking setup in one part of it. So right now we're just going to work on the frame. And then we'll go from there, adding stuff to the inside of it. Really like the new deep slate stone and bricks, the darker color. Not using it on much of anything else. I wanted to kind of have a contrast to the other materials I'm going to be using in the build. So he's kind of a nice centralized looking spot that's going to be different than the rest of the complex and the outer city that I was going to build. I am going to be putting in windows on each level. It was going to be more of like a dark tower all the way up, but I think it's a housing thing, so I think I want to also do the... We're going to go from here, and I'll come back a little later once we get all of the building put together, and we'll discuss it at that point of what we're going to do next. All right, we got the last brick laid. It did started snowing, and I did get attacked by wraiths. So I did stop, and it was getting late, so I did sleep after. This is what we got all finished up. Don't mind the back on here yet. This is where I'm going to be putting some stuff in. Been messing with some of the lighting and bricklaying. See how this is going to feel to put stuff in on this. But I think this is a good step. So I didn't get as much snow in it as I thought it was. But from here, I think it's a good set. Because this would be the 5th floor. From the 5th floor, I would be able to see good amount of space from up here. I want to do it to be able to see because I want to build the town kind of following the lake over until that ravine and back on this side of the water. Put villagers out there. So this is just the main tower. From here we want to put out we're going to put out the spikes for the compass and then try to, it's going to be an open spot on this floor, and then above it will be the copper roofing. I think that would look really nice. So we're going to start from here, and we're going to build it just like how we have it down below. It doesn't give you a lot out there, but I might put another layer on the outside so you can walk all the way around it with a little bit of fencing. I think that'll look nice. So that's 4. And I almost ran out of bricks. I miscalculated exactly what I was going to be doing with all that. And I might mess around with some of the design a little bit more, but I just want to get the overall layout done so I can figure it out from there. So let's start with the compass up here. If not, we can go back and redesign it later. Maybe put a different colored brick in, but I just want a nice flat open area to walk around on. So I think that looks good. I gotta remember, since I am going to leave this as an open plan, I am going to do the same thing with having the roof will be just like another roof that I'm putting onto it. But this will be all open right here. No walls, glass, or anything. So that finished off that one. So there should be one more. I might design some edging around this or put in maybe a little space for a door. Do I have any of that other? I do have some of those. See how that looks with it. Make a little bit of a... Just like the windows below, I did put a little bit of each level. But also help with the ladder, getting on and off the ladder there. Also help me get the final level for this. Then I might come down from that. I'm not sure if I want to do it that way because the copper roof will be a spire roof. So I'm going to use stairs to go around and around until I come to a point at the top. Top will actually be a 4x4, which actually would work because I could use the 4 stairs to make that final one and nothing should spawn on top of it. All right, welcome back. I have to admit that I screwed up my recording. I was working on building the tower and I stopped and started recording at different points. And I guess I recorded the parts that I didn't want and didn't record the parts that I wanted. So the last you saw, I was working on the top of the spire. So I'm going to use this more as just like a preview of what I was working on and discuss it a little bit more, show what I was showing, that talked the whole time and didn't record the whole thing. So try not to record everything so can save a little bit of space while doing things. You can see that the tower is mostly completed to what I was trying for. I did bring up the rabbits from down below just so I had some live creatures running around in the courtyard. I did go with some other bricks in the middle. I am going to probably touch up a little bit on it because the coloring seems a little off. The spire was kind of getting to me that it wasn't quite a spire. But for now, it looks pretty good. So I did move everything in. So I do have the bed, and a nice flower, some storage. And I did put in the cooking stove that I wanted, which is just 2 campfires that cook. And then both go down to hoppers into a chest where it's you can throw anything in and just collect the food for later. I didn't really build anything else on the other layers. I did go with a 1x2 window on either side with a nice target brick. But for the top, as you saw with the last part of the video, I did put in the copper roofing. It is very much just like a flat roof. It didn't turn out much as a spire as I wanted to. And I might think of some things about just moving it up, putting some bricks in the middle, and making it actually a tall spire. Oh, it's snowing again. See how this goes with the... Because I don't know if the copper is weathered just by time or by rain and snow, but I guess we'll see now that we got snow. The compass is still set up here, so I've got the north set, and the way I built it is that if you have a map, you can still see the color. If you got the close map, you can see over the edges of this roof to see the directional compass. Now I know that's going to cover with snow, so I might have to figure out something with that. Also did see that I did put in the deep slate fencing. Deep slate fencing, it's just like the other stone fencing, but it goes nice with the deep slate brick. And I can't get past any of it, so it makes kind of a fence, but something I could shoot through if I needed to, if anything got in and I had the high ground with. So I think it turned out pretty good. I'm going to have to work a little more on the roof. Now that I got these bricks in, I can kind of fiddle around to see how that does. But it should be good. I was thinking about possibly one of the levels putting in... That's very loud. Putting in the enchanting room. And then maybe some other workshops up in the other top ones that I don't do as much as like a farm, that I'm not going to be in there all the time trying to mess around with it. Well, like I said, I did move the bed in there, so now my spawn room is set there, so it's more of a room. So I'm going to start using this as a mining center. One other thing I did show off was I did start building our room for the Nether Portal, which I would like to do in the next episode, at least get the Nether Portal in. It's going to be a hanging Nether Portal, hanging from the ceiling, set in there. And down below, just like every other one of my buildings, I'm using the spot below the first top room as like a mine shaft. So I can cut it out, use those resources to build other things, and then put other stuff in. This one I was thinking of just carving completely all the way down to bedrock. And just making it an interesting thing that if anything came out of the Nether Portal trying to get to me without being able to open up the bridges, and hopefully if I fell myself, maybe set something down at the bottom to catch just in case I do fall, like sometimes I do. The water level is not too deep here, so I would be able to carve that out. I think there might be a ravine under here. So we'll have to come to that when we get to it. But I think it'll look nice once we get that set. I've also started working on another hallway out from the fish house, which will lead to hopefully a lighthouse that's a mix of a lighthouse and a iron golem farm. Get some villagers out there. And I can start using this building and the building over as a villager starting location, and then give them jobs over there and move them out into the city. Like I said, from the tower, I'll be able to see into the city, and that'll be a good way of kind of measuring things out where everything is. So I think that's going to do it for now. Sorry I couldn't give more of the build with my video controls. I'll have to figure that out for the future so I don't make mistakes like that again. It is awfully nice with the snow up here. So as you can see over, that's the fish house, and that is the Nether Portal. So they'll be on the opposite side of where we're going to put the town. So before the city town will be that landmass to the water around past ravine, because there's a ravine over there as well. Round over back by the water up to the buildings again. Somewhere out there, I believe there is a pond of lava near the surface, and I'm going to need that because I'm going to be doing a molded Nether Portal instead of using the few diamonds that I've found to make a pickaxe for right now. Save those diamonds for other things until I know I can get some more. It's like iron, trying to get iron right now. Everything's a little bit less except for copper. Copper, I've still got 7, 8 stacks of copper that can be cooked down for other things. So it looks like we have a sunset in the snow. That looks very nice. I think that's where I'm going to call it for tonight. Thank you for watching Minecraft. I will see you again in the next episode, where I think we're going to work on the Nether Portal and maybe another smaller side project, and maybe have a little adventure over to one of the villages. I'm going to go to bed for tonight, so have a good night, and I will see you again next time.